reading from the first book of Kings. The Lord appeared to Solomon in a dream at night. God said, "Ask something of me, and I will give it to you." Solomon answered, "O Lord, my God, you have made me, your servant, king, to succeed my father David. But I am a mere youth, not knowing at all how to act. I serve you in the midst of the people whom you have chosen, a people so vast that it cannot be numbered or counted. Give your servant, therefore, an understanding heart to judge your people and to distinguish right from wrong. For who is able to govern this vast people of yours?" The Lord was pleased that Solomon made this request. So God said to him, "Because you have asked for this, not for a long life for yourself, nor for riches, nor for the life of your enemies, but for understanding, so that you may know what is right, I do as you requested. I give you a heart so wise and understanding that there has never been anyone like you up to now, and after you there will come no one to equal you." The word of the Lord.
Our first reading for this Sunday is taken from the first book of Kings. Let us reflect on making the kingdom of God our top priority in life. Daily living is really based on making decisions about what is more important to be attended to. That's setting priorities. This should happen on a daily basis. This should happen also during our lifetime. Without a clear set of priorities, then we will have no direction in life. In our spiritual growth, the top priority is that God may reign, the kingdom of God. But how do we go about it? Choosing it as our top priority. In the first reading, the example of King Solomon is presented to us. Someone who at a young age has been called by God to assume a big responsibility to be the king of the people Israel. He is the successor of that great king, his father David. Imagine the insecurity of this young man. But we also appreciate his wisdom. As a young person, probably we could excuse Solomon for not having a clear set of priorities. We can always excuse him and say, well, what can we do? He is a young person. A young person, is privileged to have some sort of confusion about one's priorities. But through God's grace, Solomon gives us a model. He could have asked for riches. After all, he is king. He could have asked for a long life so that his reign would go extended for years and years. He could have asked for the life of his enemies. May they all die, so that he would be left alone to conquer and rule everything, all territories. Any king could have set that, one of those options, as a priority. But in the prayer of Solomon, he asked not for a long life, not for riches, not for an extension of his territory. He asked for wisdom, a heart that understands, a heart that will be docile, obedient to God. For what? Why was this the choice of Solomon? In his prayer, he tells God, I need this understanding heart so that I can govern your people with understanding, with justice, so that I can render service to you, my God, who is the real King of this people. But I am young. I am limited. But for me to be able to perform well as king, for me to be able to do my mission that came from you, my God, give me wisdom. God was very much pleased with Solomon. God was so pleased that He gave to Solomon a big share of wisdom so that no one could even surpass his understanding heart. And we know God also gave to Solomon what he had not asked for. Solomon, a man, a king with a clear set of priorities, coming from his awareness of his mission. He is now king, not of his own people, but king of God's people. So how could one rule over God's people? How could one be an agent of God who is king? That type of thinking led Solomon to ask for the best gift, the priority. Give me wisdom.